to the shit.
Yo, guys, I'm so sorry. Got some technical difficulties, guys. I'm so sorry. Yo, what's going on, people? Guys, sorry as always, we're a little bit late, but technical difficulties as you saw. So boy, I've been missing for the past couple of weeks. Well, we've been missing for the past couple of weeks. It's been my fault because I contracted COVID. And the irony of it was the next show was going to be the COVID show, but that's been postponed till the 1st of March, where everybody will get their update on COVID and whatnot. Anyways, good evening, guys. Introduce yourselves, fellas. Who we got today?
We're going to let the guest go first, man. Come
Let's
on.
go, Mr. Guest. Who is you?
Is his mic on?
We can't hear him. Turn your mic on, Dan.
Is my mic on?
Your mic's on, I can hear you.
Right.
Hey, I've just clocked sporting the Made by Mensa today. Well done.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I stepped in, man.
Yes, sir. Dan, your mic on still? Nah, he probably has to change it. You could probably hear us. But anyways, introduce yourself, Dan.
So I might as well just go in. Obviously, me.
Yeah, man.
Me, DJ Mason, Dan Mason.
Yes, sir.
All of that good stuff. I'm here as usual.
Good
Missed you, bro. It's been a minute.
Yeah, no, I'm so sorry, man. COVID was a myth. I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those people I wasn't chatting shit, but I wasn't.
It hit you.
I wasn't not fully sold. Like I knew it was real. I heard enough stories, but it's more of a case where that what's it called? I'm just gonna kick him out for a sec. It's more of a case that I think they were over sensationalizing it a little bit. And then when it touched me up, what's it called? It was an eye opener. Right. It was an eye opener to say the least. But again, we'll take this conversation for when we get Kieran on, because Sweet. He's the expert. He'll tell us all about the vaccine, give us a bit of an insight on all of that stuff. So it'll be a real interesting one. But what's it called? I'm gonna do Dan's intro for him. I think he's still having a bit of technical difficulties. Apologize for that. So basically, today's show we've got an old school friend of mine, name's Daniel, and now this is a conversation I have with another group of my pals, which is always about the school system and our age group in particular. And with our age group in particular, I think there was a lot of times where you could easily be failed by the system. That's what I personally believe. There he is. Dan, can you hear us? Damn, still muted. It was mad because I could actually hear him before. Okay. No problem. But I'll still continue his introduction. So he's an old school friend of mine. Oh, turn one of your things off.
Yeah.
It's echoing. Well, seeing as he's here now, when his echo comes back. Hello, Dan. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, so don't interfere. Right. Can you hear me?
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Bit of technical difficulties. I was just about to start the intro. I literally just got to you're an old school friend of mine.
Yeah.
You could take it from there actually. Just introduce yourself a little bit and we'll go from there, bro.
Well, my name's Daniel Grossett. I used to go to school with my man. Yeah, school day. We was in classes, we were very smart. And
you were very
school
smart.
Days had potential.
I said you were very smart.
In the whole I was quite
Would-
up at even primary school. I was the smartest in the whole class. I mean, but yeah.
Mhm.
So my name's Daniel Grossett. I grew up in London, South London, pretty much like Brixton, Croydon, Kennerton, Battersea, them sorts there. And I
Them
went to
roadman
school,
ends. Back
St.
in the day, roadman ends.
Come on, that's the ends, bro. No, I'm
That's the roadman ends. Back in the days, bro.
Kenny,
Yeah.
no, I'm just gassing because I'm from. Well, I'm not from South, but I live in South.
What's it called? So I think the main thing, Daniel, is that I was saying. Fine, let's start at the beginning actually, because you touched on it. You said you was the smartest in primary school. Now, I personally witnessed
Yeah.
you firsthand, like, and I think it was a case of I personally thought that you weren't challenged enough. I thought everything that came your way, especially mathematically, was just easy for you. It was just easy for
Yeah,
you.
it
So I
was.
think you
It
were
was.
easy. It was easy for you to like just be like, all right, cool. Let's just do this quick thing and then distracted. Now,
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
now that's primary school. Now I met you in secondary school, right? And we went to an all boys school, which was just
Yeah.
You're
boy
not,
antics. It's
you're
just
not, you're
boys
not,
just
you're not
being
missed out.
boys, huh?
You're not missed out, man.
It was Joe.
Yeah, we missed out.
Fair
We
Joe.
missed out. Personally, like I had a great time in that school. It was a wicked school.
Yeah, same here.
It was a wicked school. But
Certain times I think
God,
missed out on females, but
we all did.
certain time,
We all did. Remember
but it was cool. You
I
get
don't know
me?
if you remember the music
We had more
teacher.
camaraderie.
Do you remember the music teacher that we had, not Miss Blake? I forgot her
The tall
name.
one,
Yeah, do you remember?
Miss Blake, the tall one,
Yeah,
and she
see,
had some funny teeth.
she has some funny teeth,
Yeah,
but
she was cute though still.
the backs was mad, bro. But that's all we would get in it. But we went to a school where we had one of the teachers, one of the art teachers. She was a supply teacher. She was
Yeah,
sleeping with one of
with
the
that.
kids. Like it was known facts. It was known facts.
Yeah,
This
I
art teacher,
remember.
supply teacher, was sleeping with one of the kids. Dan, this is the type of school we went to. School was mad. And it was
When I think
known,
I
like
could
it's not like I think the teachers even knew, bruv. But anyways, back to you, Daniel.
I
The question.
Boy, that's just
Oh yeah,
crazy.
man like Amir. Yeah, he knows. Salesian was amazing. In fact, it's great that you're joining in this conversation as well, Amir. And you know the teacher I'm talking about. But anyway, back to you, Daniel. So my
man like a
question
me,
to you,
yeah.
the question to you is that where do you think things just started to not go left a little bit?
Much better.
Did you hear my question?
You know what? Yeah, of the story yet. Boom.
You're cutting out, bro.
Yeah, sorry, what was you saying again? Yeah.
I said, where do you think things start to go a bit
Can you hear
left
me?
for you?
You know what it was, yeah,
What do you
because
think the
obviously
trigger
I
was?
don't think you knew this, but obviously this is what I'm saying, the trigger was, yeah, obviously man had a perfect childhood up to when man was about 10 years old. Man had
Right.
the Happyville, you get me? It was like a white fence thing, but mum started drinking alcohol,
Yeah.
and I think she started smoking class A substances when man was 11 years old. So
Rotted.
when man moved from Kennerton to Brixton Hill.
Brixton.
So man was in
I remember.
Brixton Hill with mum's mum. Man was like 2-pack. Mum's mum was out there smoking. You get me? And drinking. She was a good mum though. She didn't let us down, even though she drunk and she smoked and she was what she's doing. She still changed her thing. You get me?
Yeah.
It is what it is. But yeah. So
So that's literally
personally,
at the start of
I think
secondary school.
it was kind of maybe, but then there's how literally.
It's cutting out.
Like I think I came secondary school for a few up there, and then
Yeah.
can you hear me?
We can hear you. You're just
Yeah,
cutting out a little bit.
I think
Your audio
I moved
fades in
up
and out.
to Yeah. I've got these headphones on. Be better if I did. It's gonna put the blue.
Mm. But as
Yeah,
Daniel
what was
does
I
that,
saying?
there.
My
Okay,
mum,
go on.
my mum was.
Like connected.
So go on.
What'd you say?
I can hear you better now. Yeah, go on. What was you saying?
You saying your mum what?
Yeah, boom. Basically, yeah, my mum. Basically, that was one of the main triggers because she's there. We're trying to go to school, but my mum's out late at night drinking, and people's coming to my house, and you can imagine what it's like when your mum drinks and smokes class A drugs. You get me?
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
smokes crack or whatever. Yeah, so mum was kind of put man in. That's what kind of trigger for it, really.
Can't hear you
We
too
didn't.
tough, man.
Still had everything we needed. Good. And we got to see the rock.
Can you hear him, Dan?
No, it's cutting out. It's
Yeah,
cutting
it's
out a
cutting
lot.
out.
You know what I
The
mean?
thing
Man's coming
is,
to school. Man's a bad man. Man's living his life like man's again. Can you hear me?
No, it's just I
it's
don't know if
chopping
it's
in
your
and out.
yeah, it's chopping. I don't know if it's your reception or
I mean, I think ours is working fine. What we're gonna do, Dan, just restart your thing, and then jump back in when you're ready. Okay, if you can hear us.
Um,
Yeah. I can't.
yeah, I can hear you.
Hello. Can you hear us, Dan? Yeah, there you goes. But fine. I'm gonna lead on from that really quickly. What's mad about that is guys, I'm learning everything. Even though I went to school with him and he was my pal in school, I did not know any of this backstory. So I'm learning all of this with you. So what's mad is that like the story kind of starts like what you'd think in the movie, innit? Like everybody, you have that kind of like nice childhood, comfortable, everything's rosy, and then one thing happens. Then when that one thing happens, it transforms everything for you. Transfers everything. Like, did you know anybody like that?
no.
No.
No, this is why like when he was talking I was just kind of taking in because I'm just like, jeez,
Yes, I'm telling you.
that's wild, bro. Like when you think about it really,
Yeah, I'm
that's actually
telling
quite
you.
crazy.
It's mad. So anyway, let's see if everything's fixed up for him. He's still on a red bar, but we'll see. Yo,
Yeah, I've come back in, but phone. I'm trying to bring it up on my laptop, man.
I think. Well, you
Me.
sound better now. I
Yeah, it's
spoke.
a bit,
I probably spoke too soon.
It's a bit laggy. Can you try and get it on your laptop if possible?
yeah, I'm trying. It's just with the laptop. I don't know what it was with the mic giving no sound. Maybe
Okay.
if I do it and put the headphones in the laptop, it might be a bit better.
But you're laggy, but we can hear you at least. But anyway, Dan, what I was saying before was it's
Yeah,
mad how one thing will just literally derail it.
100.
Will just derail it, and you're just like, rah. How did that happen? And then I remember when Dan, can you hear us?
yeah,
I remember. Okay, cool. So you were at the stage where you just talking about that you moved to Brixton. When did you like? Because a lot of us knew you as Duppy. Where did the name Duppy come from? Like I know what it means, obviously, but for
yeah,
you, why did
yeah.
that name become attached to you?
It was
Just as he's about to tell us.
talk man about duppies and that in Jamaica and the ghost. When you're young, Yeah, hello. Oh
It's
man,
Yeah,
still
go
it's
on.
still it's still quite laggy. Just try it
I've
again
got
on the
it up on my
laptop.
laptop.
He's on the
I've
laptop.
got
Yeah.
it on the laptop, but it's not joining in because
No,
yeah.
it's
Let
in
me just
now.
one
You're
sec.
in.
It's in.
Can you hear me?
Um,
But yeah,
the mic should be automatically on for him, right?
it should be. Yeah. It
Yeah,
should. It should fucking.
I see you still got the snivels, bro. You sure you're 100?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm 70. I'm 70. It's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. Dan's
No, but
still
like
lagging.
events like that just shape your life, innit?
Differently.
That just
Differently.
shape your life. But the fact that he still managed to get through school, though, like, see, this is why this story is so interesting because I want to know how he still managed to get through school.
He had friends like me. I'm playing.
Like,
No,
because
but legit,
yeah,
legit. There's a couple. There's a couple because there's this guy here, Amir. He was also in our school.
right.
He was also in our school, and it'll be interesting to get his perspective as well because he joined, I think, when we were like in year 8 or something like that. And his story is a bit up and down as well. I was pals with Amir as well. Like we did a couple of things. Like we was in I was an air cadet. A lot of people don't know that I was an air cadet, and he joined as well, and that's where we became like pals. But when he came into our school, he was one of those new kids. But because Amir has this energy, and I knew it from then, it was an unerring kind of confidence. Partway through year 7, it was people took it as like an arrogance, which in my school, like nobody's better than nobody. And there was one boy who felt it. His name was Malcolm. He thought it was better than everybody. So when there was a fat fight, everybody let him get beat up. Everybody let him get beat up. But everybody's just fighting for each other. But him, he got beat up because he thought he was better than everybody. But as I said, with Amir, he had, as I said, an unerring confidence from then. But I want to know, like, we'll catch up. He's still in the chat, so we'll catch up and see like where his past leads. He doesn't know that I know a lot of things. He actually doesn't know. I've got my ears to the ground. So yeah. Anyway, Dan, can you hear us though now? Can you even speak?
I think he's been trying for the last like 2 minutes
Couple
or so.
minutes.
Yeah, it's just I don't know why it's not working on his laptop.
It was mad because when we was in the lobby, it was fine.
All right, so let's try something. If you kick me out,
Kick you out.
yeah, kick me out and see if it works for him.
No. Because when we was in the lobby, I could hear you. I could hear him. I could hear everybody.
I'm not sure then, man.
I think it's just his connection because I keep seeing dipping in and out. I'll kick him out quickly. He'll jump back in. But anyway, back to the story. So sorry about the technical difficulties, everybody, by the way. Because it is such an interesting story, which I'd love for people to like to what's it called? To hear and see how it can easily affect everybody else. Like you saw, he said it himself. He had the white picket fence kind of suburban kind of ting outlook, everything was crisp. Next thing you know, Mumsy just starts drinking and starts taking drugs, new boyfriend, and that changes your life. And I think that's one of the things that being an inner city London school is great for like the pals and the fun times that you have, but it's at the same time quite dangerous because of that city life, because you never know what is going to happen at the next turn. A lot of people that we go to school with are like on bread lines, not bread lines, but they're not that high above the poverty line, and you don't know it. And then all it takes is one thing. Like we had a good few people. Let's try jumping. We had a good few people who were doing a madness, who were fully doing a madness. So
Daniel,
who
can you
knows?
hear us?
Yeah, see, I've got it on the phone again because that's what usually make. Can you hear me?
You're echoing though, bro.
Yeah, see.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Where's it lagging through?
I don't know why it's lagging. It's just a bit crazy.
It is crazy. It's all mad. I have to kick him out again because it's so laggy.
That's annoying.
It is because he's got such an interesting story. When we've been catching up, is so interesting. It really is. And as I was saying before, I just wanted to allow people to hear it. But going back to what I was saying, like I'm sure you knew people who were in the same kind of situation, or you've known people that have just gone left, and you don't
Yeah,
know why.
bruv. Yeah, like you get people that just disappear from time to time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not, bro. Like, look, as much as Inner City London has produced us
Yeah.
and a host of great people,
Mm-hmm.
some people just don't make it as well.
Nope.
Through different things. I think it's personally looking back at it, I think it's a great environment. It definitely set me up for life.
Mm-hmm. It teaches you a lot,
It
but
teaches you a hell of a lot.
you have to be rolling in the correct kind of group.
Yeah. Because the wrong groups like could get you messed up. I mean,
Yeah.
bruv, like, Graham, when I look back at it, we could have gone south. And I remember having this conversation.
Easy.
I had
Easy.
this conversation with someone the other day, and I said like one day it got to the point where I was with my pals, and I said to him, bruv, listen, we got two choices. We either go in, or we just turn the corner. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because this isn't going well. This is coming off the back of my boy getting stabbed, almost dying. I then got stabbed. It just got sticky. So I was like, look, this life right here.
Not the one.
This life right here is like, look, we either go in, because if we go in, you got to be prepared for what going in means. It means you know there's a lot of violence, there's a lot of all of the stuff that comes with it. So you got to look over your shoulder. And I think the one thing that kind of kept me away from that was I didn't like looking over my shoulder.
Yep. You're always on guard.
I wanted to be able to just rock up and just be comfortable that I'm all right. I mean, anything can happen anyway as a normal person, but
Mm-hmm.
when you're out there doing a mazza or you're caught up in certain groups, the looking over the shoulder thing, it's painful, bruv. Like, it's just painful.
It's not. It's not painful as such. It's more tiresome.
Yeah.
For me, it was tiresome. It's not like I was rolling in these bad groups, but I knew enough of these bad people, and because I was like a social butterfly in it, I could kind of jump in with the kind of geeks easy and talk to them, but I can jump in with them bad boys, with them proper bad youths easily and chill with them. And it'll be a case of like if you're in that group, and for us, it's between walking from our school to Clapham Junction, and you're just caught slipping. You don't want that.
No, South was a bit sticky back in the day as well.
It's not about that. You are on guard.
It was a bit of a
Yeah.
sticky one back then still, but to be honest, aren't you kind of glad that you didn't go down that road? Not in a,
Bro,
you know what I mean? Like when you think about it really, because obviously you now look at, maybe, you might look at your life, you got, beautiful family and that.
I'm ecstatic. I can't describe it. I am ecstatic.
Because
I was never about that life anyway.
the thing is, but for you, I think, and probably, more so for me as well, it was just one or two decisions. It was one or two decisions away from being in that line of fire.
Yep.
And it could have just went the other way, man. So I'm grateful, because coming up, especially like what Daniel started saying with the story and that, I was just like, rah.
Yeah.
I was a bit taken back with the story. I was just like, geez,
Yeah.
at 10 years old, if you're, if your mum's taking substances and stuff, and you got to deal with that, process that mentally, because at 10 years old, you
Shock to the
can't.
system.
Yeah, it's like processing things. You can't process things like you can do, as an adult.
No.
And you're still in that, that development stage, innit? So,
Yep.
Can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you, man. You're back. Yes, we're in.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I think he's still lagging though.
Is he still lagging a bit? Daniel, can you hear us?
Top now, finally. A little bit. Yeah, you don't find.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay,
Still breaking up. Damn, man. These yellow bars and stuff that you got.
South is the worst ends for signal, bro.
The thing is, he's near me. He's a Maidstone. Actually, that's probably explains it, innit? Maidstone, them sticks, bruv.
Jeez,
He's far.
out.
Sorry, out of this location. A man fully out of this location.
just put man out there, you know, to dry.
No, that's cool. That's fine. Man was living 5 minutes from where Giggs was living.
Oh shit!
No Giggs.
See, man out of Giggs
man
as
was
well.
living 5 minutes from him. Yeah, I don't even want to reveal where he's living, but I know where he's living. Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's Giggs, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, like
We're going from
do
Duppy
that,
to
bro. He's
Hollow,
in a
man.
nice.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But Daniel, you got to carry on with the story, man. You got to hit us with the you got up to the point where you got up to the point where you said where you was in you moved to Brixton, so you got like, you know, carry on from there.
Yeah. Well, man got the name Duppy as well. Man carried on that name from when man was young because man thought it sounds scary and you want to sound big and scary, innit? So man thought Duppy, man Jamaican. The man, alright, that Duppy makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, now so boom. I remember one time school attendance for the term was 18% for one. So imagine that.
Never saw him. Let me stop you there. Let me stop you there.
Yeah,
but imagine
remember coming for
you
lunch?
never saw him. Hold on 1 second. You never saw him, but the guy will still be sitting in that top maths class, finishing everything like it was nothing. So, but go on. You're saying about lunch.
Yeah, you can't. I remember certain times, I'd come in late, and I remember certain times I'd come in at certain time I'd be hungry, and I'd come in just for lunchtime, and it'd be PE in the afternoon, so I'd bounce out as well.
Yeah,
I mean, it was mad. I used to drink the muffins. Do you remember? Hustling in school, selling crisps and drinking.
You was one of the first ones to be starting them, bruv. The muffins was money makers and millions. Muffins and millions, money makers.
Yeah. Trust me.
That's hard still.
But yeah, so the school thing now, man started bunking off a bit, like, because obviously my mum and my household was how it was. So certain time, you get me, it was a bit mad. So man started bunking a bit, and you know what it was? Man started smoking weed when man was 12.
Oh.
Yeah. But the thing is, no, I'm gonna cut you off there. But there was bare of them. Like people were selling. Like the school that we was in, bruv, we were in year 7 and you had the oldest in year 11 having kids already. So
wait, hold on a second. What school did you man go to? What school did you go to, man?
Salesian College, bruv. It was the school was mad. The school was absolutely mad. I still wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah,
it was mad.
Yeah. And with the beef with Batsy Tech.
Yep. Fights all the time.
Jeez. You think like obviously that we were gonna get onto it, but do you think that the school system might like failed you a little bit, Daniel, or no?
Dan? Is he bounced again? Yep. His thing dipped again.
Damn. Damn it. But yeah, we could talk about the school system between us. I feel like
yeah.
When I look at it, looking back at it, I don't think the school system taught me anything. For me, but all I can remember at school was a few teachers, 1 or 2 teachers that were kind of influential. Some of them for the wrong reasons, and you know, some of them for good reasons. But I didn't take anything in.
You won't. But the thing is, do you know what? I'm actually gonna slightly like this is hindsight. That's why hindsight's so wonderful. I'm gonna stick up for them a little bit because unfortunately for them, we were that kind of unknown group because we had the internet, which was just about to boom like mad, and nobody knew, obviously, because imagine we had IT classes, but we were one of the first ever like groups of people to have IT. And you wouldn't start IT from year 7, in my case anyway. You would start it from like year 9 or year 10. So imagine how late that was, and it was simple coding, very, very simple coding. So unfortunately for the teachers, I think to stick up for them a little bit, they were caught in between a rock and a hard place between traditional teaching and what was becoming the new age of teaching.
You know what it is? When I'm looking at it just from my point of view, so like even stuff like IT, I wasn't interested in because.
But you say that now because
I'll tell you why. Because we were so poor, bruv. There was no computer. Like couldn't afford a computer. So when everybody was going home on their MSN and doing Upper Madness, I didn't have none of that. You know what I mean? So I kind of just looked at it as like a waste of time. And I looked around at my environment and being athletic and stuff. I said, you know what? This is my way out. This is what I can do. Because I was so athletic, just stupidly athletic, just big, fast, strong. I was like, all of that. I was like, this is me. I don't care about nothing else. I'm gonna have to go for this. Only until one teacher actually then came in and said, because he was a smart guy, because he understood there was different levels of kind of intelligence, and you don't have to be like a smart guy. I think I can't remember the term they call it for that type of intelligence, but there's like 7.
It's called a neek.
Right? There's like 7 types of intelligence, but he recognized a level of intelligence in me and kind of started pushing me towards a few things. But before that, it was kind of just do your books. I'm just like that might not work for everyone.
Fine. What was that teacher? What did they teach you? What subject? I mean,
that teacher taught me science, and he got me into science because of just the way he was and the way he kind of looked at it, and he kind of understood it from sort of like a different point of view. The problem that we got sometimes with some of these kids, we just assume that that one method works. And I say it to people all the time with training. I said, look, what might work for someone else with their training might not work for you. There's so many different aspects that comes into it. And I think the school system, the fact that they're still teaching, Columbus and all that kind of nonsense,
fraud stuff.
Yeah, it says everything about the system and how it's set up, especially when you're in like an inner city. If you're in a like London school, public school, where you're probably, you're on the block at night time. You know what I mean? You're
chilling,
doing the mazza, like
crazy. Parents looking after you because they're working too hard. In my case, anyway.
Yeah, there you go. Like it's just one of them things. Like you just we have to kind of assess it. And it's listen. And I'm not saying the teachers are trying to do what they can. They're doing what they're being told to do as best as they can. It's not their fault, but I just feel like it's the whole system in general that needs looking at. You've got to look at it and just say, look, this isn't working for all of the children. We've got to find out a way to. Obviously, there's a want as well. There needs to be a want. So people need to want to actually learn as well. But at the same time, that model is old. They need to look at it and they kind of need to find another way to help some of these kids, because they're just like, this is what we're doing. Some people make it, and I think a large majority of people just fall off. So we need to find a way to kind of capture those people, as well as them kind of wanting to do it as well.
I think that's why schools such as the Brit School, for example, right? Why schools like that are so great is because, fortunately for the kids who go there, excuse me, the camera. Fortunately for the kids who go there, they identified what they liked from early. So you can easily kind of combine the thing. Like, for example, the science thing. I always liked science. My mum was a nurse, and I kind of just took after that. But there was one teacher in particular, and I think I told this in one of the other shows that we did. One teacher in particular, we're in school in Battersea in early 2000. So we're talking, you let them take us, 2002. Yeah, garage is popping. You're in an area where so solid is formed, so you know all of the garage that's coming out that you're hearing is mad.
Mm.
The school was so musically gifted. Like the school, like we had so many talented musicians there. This guy was there temporarily. He recognized that instantly. He would teach you like the literature and everything like that, the theory for like 15 minutes. We're like, cool guys, this is what we're gonna do now. Set the task. What does he do? Man puts on Choice FM in the background. Yeah. And lets us just get on with our work. Now, that is a teacher who has identified where he's at, and to top it all off, he was white. He was white. It's not like he's a black man doing this. He was a white guy doing this. His name was Mr. Lamb. If anybody's watching, remembers Mr. Lamb. Big up Mr. Lamb. Yeah.
Shout out, man, like
And the
Mr.
thing
Lamb,
is,
you know.
he had some of the most disruptive youths wanting to come to that class because they knew we was listening to Choice FM in the background, but we were still doing our work.
Mm.
And everybody loved the class. Like everybody loved that science class. But that's what I'm trying to say as well. In our day and age, we were such in that midpoint that I think teaching had to become. Yeah, there you go. Look at this comment here. I think everybody, not everybody, most people in our year. Imagine if you were taught DJing, for example.
Mm. There's a teacher that stretched his arm out for me with that. So he knew I was into DJing at my age, like that age, and he knew I didn't have the decks. You know what I mean? I didn't have the money for the decks.
Yeah.
So the school had some decks, and what he would do is he would open up the school for me at different times.
Yep.
To try and get me some practice. He's like, I can't show you DJing because I don't know how to do it, but we've got the equipment. So if you could get some records together, you could come in and practice. And I was just like, wow. Shout out Mr. Wellington, man.
There you go.
He was a dread. He was a sick musician. He was hard.
But the thing is, but those teachers are still now we can hear you a little bit. Those teachers are still too few and far between. Because I'm just trying to say, if we had teachers who were able to recognize things like that quicker, I'm saying, although we're okay now, where could we have been if we harnessed those 12 years earlier?
I think they're trying to, I think from when you look at the adverts and stuff, I think they're trying to push those kind of teachers now. They're trying to say, look, bring your personality, we need people like you, because they've recognized that there's a problem. But I think they don't understand the larger problem, which is the system is still fucking broken. Like it's still broken. Like what you're teaching the kids is nonsense in some areas. Like, I mean, the maths, the science, and the English, 100%. Like I think those are genuine. When it comes to the other areas, so like RE is something I think they should definitely teach.
No, they shouldn't.
I think they should. Okay, and here's my argument as to why they should. We need an understanding of people's religions and how they live. Like we need it. Like we need an understanding of those people, so that it kind of just to combat the ignorance. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
We need someone to deliver it in a way that it's not. They don't learn about it on the internet where they're just fearing people. Do you know what I mean? Especially for the people. I'm just saying it specifically for the Muslim community as well, because people misunderstand, Islam.
No, they do.
And if we, do you know what I mean? But
I'm
what
Muslim.
There you go.
Alhamdulillah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, but I think because of all the things that's happened over the last couple of years, I don't think that's ever going to happen, because it's going to be seen as radicalization or some kind of nonsense. There's going to be a huge outcry. They don't want their kids to
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, you could already see how crazy it would get. But I still think teaching the kids about different religions and how to respect them and how to understand different things, just the tolerance for it, would go a long way.
But that stretches into, I mean, to me, religion and race are two of the most divisive things that we have community-wise worldwide.
And we don't teach enough about race, because if you think about it coming up, let me give you an example. Yeah, I grew up in the Caribbean. I got into the British school system at like 11 years old. Yeah, I didn't do primary in this country. I did my whole early life education in the Caribbean. When I came here, coming from a situation where they taught me about my history, Right? They taught me about British history as well, but they taught me the
Check.
truth about British history. They taught me about how my people got there and whose hand got them there. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
This ties into the comment at the bottom.
To then come into to London and understand that they're teaching Christopher Columbus as some superstar.
Fam,
And then,
do you know how much that name like hurts my soul?
it's mad. It's mad because I'm going from what I learned and how he pretty much destroyed civilization where I come from.
Yeah.
So I'm like, rah, like this guy is a big guy. And then I'm learning about Henry VIII. Listen, there's nothing wrong with learning about British history. At the end of the day, if you want to be part of British society, you better learn some British history. It's as simple as that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But tell the truth.
But yeah, the way it's been delivered is, I feel like it's a little bit wrong, and there's some misguidance in there. But even I don't know, it's a mazza. It's definitely a mazza.
It is. Daniel, you back with us?
Trust me. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, you
I'm
sound
back
much
on the
better.
phone one time.
Yeah, you know, you
Thank
sound
God
much
for that.
better, bro. Anyways,
Wicked.
where were we? You had 18%
Yeah, we
attendance.
ain't even touched upon on the jail and all of that yet. You get
Yeah, I
me? We
know.
gotta go through all of that.
Yeah, no, let's go.
Everything. You get me?
Let's go. Because
Yeah, so boom.
the question, hold on, before we go, the question to pose to you was, do you feel that the school system failed you in some way? But should that be a question for a bit later then, Dan?
No, we can deal with that now. And I don't think the school system failed me in any way because they were good. This country is a good country. If you learn, you can learn. If you want to do things, you can do things. I mean, we live in a good country, and you know what I mean. You think there's people out there who still haven't got clean water, and you know what I mean. And there's kids over in this country who are 6, 7 years old. They got iPhones and iPads. There's other kids who ain't got water.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't think the system failed me. Like I think a lot of these youngsters these days, if they really want, I don't really know, but I think if they really want to go straight, you can go straight. Like I grew in Brixton Hill, right in the thick of it. You get me? I had drug abusers in my house every day. You know what I mean? I'm waking up and there's junkies in my house. You know what I mean? And I grew up in the thick of it, and I was still able to hardly have fights and to be able to keep peaceful and be able to be humble. You know what I mean? But yeah, after school now, it was a madness because I got into a madness when I was 16. Got some weed for some grand's worth of weed, and someone ended up robbing someone, and I was in the mix when I was sleeping. That kind of messed me up because then I kind of had to hide out for a bit when I was 17, 16, 17. I had this drama.
yeah.
Yes, I didn't even I went Westminster Kingsway and done music technology, but I only stayed there for a few months and then I dropped out because of this situation. Ended up having beef and drama, and I ended up hide out a bit, and it was mad. And then that kind of messed me up when I was 17. That kind of messed me up, and then boom. Cut a long story short now. A man was selling crack, and like one of my mum's friends, one people in my house. Cause I didn't smoke it. I didn't smoke crack. I smoked weed. He gave me the crack and said, "Raw, hold on to that innit, and hold it for me." But raw, me now, intriguing, thinking, what is it that my mum and these people like about it? So like, you get me being real now. Boom, man tried the thing, and from there, man tried the thing. You get me, man start smoke the thing, and then boom, as you see in films and you see in so many stories. It takes over. It takes over your life.
So let me ask you a question.
Get me? So, man's 17 now.
Just quickly, because there's this notion that as soon as you smoke crack, you're addicted. Was that the case for you?
You know what it is, yeah? It's a bit like imagine you beat someone nice now. Someone like, imagine like it's so nice.
Hey, listen, talk the things, bro. Say what you want to say. Talk the things. Say it like it is.
Imagine so it's basically the thing's so nice that everything else in life is not as sweet.
Right.
So going back, don't taste as sweet. Doing this, playing computer tastes as sweet because you've tasted something that tastes so sweet. What it does, you know, like when you got a fairground and you go on them rides and that produced in your brain or in your body when you go on them rides, and it gives you that thrilling feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cocaine, it something I think, and it gets that same chemical in your body. So it's basically like you're in the thrill, you're going on a ride of your life in that moment. So it does take over. It does take over. You know what I mean? I never let it take over my soul.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
thank God, man.
Principles, you know
Thank
what I
God.
mean?
That's crazy. That's crazy because you hear a
Doing
lot of
what man was
stories
doing,
about
but
it,
yeah,
man.
from
It's kind of nice to just talk to someone directly that understands it. You know what I mean? Seen what it's done to other people,
we end up
tried it
moving from my
themselves and
house.
shit. So it's nice to get that insight.
It really is.
And this,
Is he frozen again?
He is a little bit.
Damn, it's annoying, man. This. There's so much questions I've got. You know what I
Fam,
mean?
you're breaking up, but fam,
Right, hold that question. Hold that. How did you turn your life around? We're gonna hold that. Tell Daniel to restart because we got to really ask him this question about,
fam, do you know how much shock I'm in right now?
the return from it.
why are you saying that? To hear the story.
Yeah.
You
The
didn't know what
story.
I'm
Fam,
saying, because
because the
these are
thing
things
is,
that
right,
nobody knows. Let me get to the thick of it.
it's not even that. Bruv, it's not even that. Like, I went to school with you. The last time, this is mad. This is how mad this is, guys. The last time I physically saw Daniel was in 2004. I didn't even see you for flipping results day. I didn't even see you, bro.
Yeah,
The last time
yeah,
I
I don't
saw
think I can.
Daniel was in 2004. Fast forward 17 years. Yeah. And you're telling me we left secondary school 2004. 2005, somebody told you to hold a piece of crack and you slit the ting.
Man, I said, let me try this.
Yeah,
Bruv,
Let's
like
see what
I'm
it's
in so
saying.
much shock right now. Like I told people, like,
I ain't even got to the thick.
man never got to the juicy bit. Nah, bruv.
Yeah,
I need some
No,
popcorn.
I
carry
ain't even
on,
got to the
Daniel.
juicy bit. I ain't even got to the juicy
Listen.
bit. You get
This
me?
is why I
Now hear
came
this
with
now.
my drink tonight. Cause I knew there was going to be some good story.
Trust
So
me.
go on, bro.
This is where it gets. Boom. My 20th birthday now. There, I'm feeling like that. I chirped some girl in Brixton and said, "Rah," because a man was buzzing. It's my birthday. I said, "Rah, man's having a party tomorrow. Come." Boom. She come to the party now. The same time, I've already got a next girl, my gal, at the party with me, and then I got this next girl that I just chirped at my same party with me, my 20th birthday party. And there's she now there. She's there smoking skunk spliffs with budge in it, bro. And you know what budge is,
Oh,
innit? That's heroin, bro.
yeah.
So she's there smoking this now in the house. The man's thinking, "Rah, what's this smell?" Boom, boom, boom. Cut a long story short now. Boom. I think man started smoking a bit of white in the bedroom or something. I think man was or something, and but then my girl left, and then this girl now who's smoking the budge split now. Boom. Man ended up trying it. Man ended up trying. You get me? So man start take the thing. It tastes nice. She's telling me, "Right, don't do it. Don't do it. You can't do this. Don't do it. Don't do it." I said, "Right, let me try." I'm intrigued. Man's buzzing.
Mhm.
Man beat the thing now. Trying to beat the thing, but she weren't feeling him. He used the girls, but this time he didn't get the put. He didn't get the thing. Man started smoking that, and then boom, man started smoking, and that was game over. You see, when man touched that thing, boom, man didn't realize at first, but man was just when it was around, man was smoking it. This is the budge now, you know.
Mhm.
So man's smoking the white and the budge.
Jesus
So
Christ.
man's there, man's trying it. At first, going on, it's just nothing. But then afterwards, as man started to kick, you start to feel unwell if you don't have. So doing bits and bobs, trying to hustle to get the thing and this and that. And then before you know it, before my turn jail, 3 months before my 21st first birthday, man was in jail for robbery because some idiot man wanted me to score just some dramas. And I just end up taking.
You end up what? What did you say? What did you end up doing?
And now, cut a long story short, from 21 to 33, I spent about half the time in jail. It's in prison, come out, get clean off drugs, come in prison, get clean off of drugs, fix up, come back out looking all nice, boom, start smoking again, get back, start shoplifting, doing whatever crimes man can do to get money, hustling every day. You get me? Every day you need this thing, you know. You get sick if you don't have it. So every day man's out there making more and doing what man's got to do. But yeah, from 21 to 33, I've spent about 6 years of that in jail. It's been literally come out clean, come 6 months or whatever, 9 months, up, and then end up going back to jail, get out. And that's basically been the situation for the last 12 years. You get me?
Bro,
But while I was in jail, I will say that I've done positive for myself. Yeah, go on. I started cutting hair 10 years ago. I see people in jail with rubbish haircuts, so I started cutting hair.
Right.
I've been cutting hair for 10 years now in prisons, and I've done over 3,000 haircuts in prison. It's the best place to learn. If you want to become a barber, prison is the best place to learn. You get me? So
How's that the best place to learn? Because if you finish somebody's hair, I swear they'll cut you, bruv.
Yeah, trust me.
Man's hairline is starting hair.
Man's getting his visit and that, yeah, trust me. But I was lucky. I was naturally talented with it. Like, as you know, like with the maths thing, it's easy. It come naturally to me because I always bounce into simplicity. If you know that 1 + 1 makes 2, you can know everything because everything is the space. You know what I mean? Everything can be broken down to simple. But yeah, man. So it's been a mad thing for the last 12 years, in and out of jail.
That's so
and it's
crazy.
It's a hard cycle to get out of because once your foot's stuck in the mud, it's hard to get out of. There's some out there now that I know that are addicts and whatnot, and they can't get out of it because every day they need that thing, otherwise they get sick.
So
I'm lucky I'm out now.
How long have you been clean from it?
I've been clean for almost a year. I got clean in prison. I just done basically a year. You get me? But yeah, I've been clean about a year now. But actually on road, but being actually clean on road, I came out of jail on August 18th. So I've officially been clean on road for about 6 months now, and it's the first time in my life, 17, that I've been back, that I've been clean. So for me, it's because I'm seeing everyone. They've all got their kids, they've got their lives and all this and that. And for me, it feels like I'm just restarting my life again, like I'm 17.
Right.
If you know what I mean, that's what it feels like. Because like for these last, can you understand?
That's crazy, but you've picked up something that is that's in need. Like everybody, listen. The way I would love a barber right now, bruv. My head is a mission.
Fam, just bar it all off. Do what I do.
Listen, I did that. And then, like, honestly, like, listen, my girl didn't recognize me. I swear I thought she was going to leave me, bruv. It was a miss. Hey, it was mad. So I thought, no, I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that again. I said, no, I'm gonna get some proper professional help, man. My barber's trying to charge, man, like £35 to come to my house. I said, wait. None of that.
Wow.
None of
that. A fiver like round there. I'm telling my neighbours a fiver for a trim. You get me? Swear down. Get me mates rates and that. But yeah, I got all brand new clippers and stuff as well.
Listen, everybody, head down to Maidstone, get your £5 trim. It's worth it. Whatever.
Get your trim, man. Support the cause.
But yeah, the cutting hair thing I got on Smash now still because it's the best place to learn. If you really want to become a barber, just because you can practice. But I was lucky. I was good from day one. But I've done thousands of haircuts in jail. But something that kind of helped me to get clean as well, was the Corona situation. Was when I came out, there was Corona, and it was a bit harder to access certain drugs and things. So that helped me as well. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't so easily accessible. Because it's for a lot of people. Some people, they come back out, if they can access it straight away, it's going to be the first thing that they're going to want to do.
Yeah,
it's a very hard thing to get out of.
Do you think that, because obviously, like, I do know that drugs, they play with your flipping hormones and shit, man. They prey on you quite hard. It's like it's the best
Yeah.
thing when you're taking drugs, but then the minute you stop, you know, those serotonin levels and stuff just start kicking off.
Yeah.
And all of
Yeah,
those,
because you're used to having that thrill.
all of those crazy hormones. I'm sure the next guest that we've got on will tell us more about that shit. But how do you fight that? How do you manage the cravings for shit?
What it is, you have to keep big, because if you imagine you had a cup that's full and now you've emptied your cup, you need to fill that cup back up with something. Otherwise, you're going to be there stressing. You get me? So you have to fulfill your time with exciting things that you enjoy that can keep you busy. So, for example, like coming on the show is something that is exciting for me to keep me busy, or just things, you know what I mean? You have to keep yourself busy doing things that you enjoy that can give you that fulfillment, because you've had that fulfillment. So you're always going to seek in that pleasure somewhere now, because you felt it. You know what I mean? So you have to keep busy. That's something that keeps is good. Keep busy with things. You know what I mean?
You're technically doing your own rehab then, really, isn't it?
Yeah, you could say that. You could say that. And addicts, they usually say, "Oh, you're an addict for life." Once you're an addict,
Right?
you know what I mean. They usually say you're an addict for life, because them cravings, they will all be with you. You know what I mean? But for me now, I tell you what, something that keeps me away from it is I look at my old life and I look at all the pain that I cause people when I'm nicking left, or I'm teething in the shops, or doing what I'm doing, and I think
taking
all
a leg off the roofs.
Down on you, people look down on you. Yeah, trust me, like I've done, like when you're out there, you do anything for money, you know what I mean? It's mad.
That's another thing I was going to ask you, but like, you obviously, with you being inside and that, and do you feel like society treats you a little bit different because you've been in jail? So like, you know, like if you went for a job and all that kind of stuff, you feel like you get treated harshly or judged in any way?
Position where I've been in a position where my prison has because obviously I've only just recently become a sort of normal civilian again, so everything kind of new to me at the moment. You know what I mean? Life is like, to me, it feels like I'm 17 again in one essence, because for the last how many years, you know, I've been jailed probably 25 times.
Fuck.
And yeah, it's just been like, there's been, so for me, it feels a bit like I'm like 17, to be honest. But yeah,
That's crazy.
A lot of catching up to do, maybe.
I was gonna ask.
But yeah, something that I'll tell you something.
Go finish, bro.
Yeah, something that was important, that really important, that kind of made me change. Yeah, was when I was in prison recently, I got recalled back to prison for some silly like argument, and then people say things and then you get recalled, and then even though the argument got dismissed and everything got thrown out, nothing happened, you still have to serve your license. So I was in prison reasons. I done my 6 months. I came out for a few weeks, argument, and then got recalled. So I'm in prison now.
Jeez.
And while I'm in prison, my mum has got 6 months to live. She got cancer. So I'm in prison on this month's sentence, and my mum's got a few months to live. So next thing now, a few months ago, just gone, I'm on the phone to my mum. My mum can't speak. She's in hospital. She got cancer in the throat. She ain't eaten for 2 weeks. She's about to die. I have to say on the phone to my mum, you know. So I'm telling mum I love her. I'm telling her, mum, we're going to be clean. I'm not going to go back to the drugs. I'm going to make it. I'm trying to, you know what I mean? So I had to say goodbye to my mum down the phone while I'm in prison, bro. You know what I mean? And then, so that kind of changed me, because I wanted to come out and make my mum proud. That was my New Year's resolution. We set some fireworks, said, right, you know what, my New Year's resolution is to make my mum proud. Because my mum passed away. Me and my mum was best friends, you know what I mean? We used to smoke together. Some people say it's magic, bro. Me and my mum used to smoke together and whatnot. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to be doing something, better that you do it around people that you love. Because I'm going to be smoking it anyway. If she's going to be smoking it anyway, I'm going to be smoking it anyway. It's better that we're doing it together, where we can look out for each other, you know what I mean? But me and my mum was best friends, and she passed away just in June, just gone. So that's kind of what changed me around. You know what I mean? I don't want to waste the call, man. You know what I mean? We all got to go one day. We all got to return back to God. You know what I mean?
So, like you said,
yeah, so that kind of changed me around.
You said, I mean, sorry to hear about your mum. But you said you're Muslim. How did that come about? How did you pick up Islam?
I used to be a Christian, very devout Christian when I was young, when I was 15, 16. And I was into gospel. I used to gospel music, everything. Used to go to church like all the time. But basically, over the years, I kind of saw that obviously with Christianity, some people get a bit obsessive and it's a bit religious. They kind of forget, you know what I mean? And obviously, I'm worshipping the wrong things. But basically, I come across it in prison a bit, but also just from the friends that I was around, and it introduced me to it. And it just seemed like the right way, because it kind of goes hand in one essence with Christianity, because with Christianity, Islam came, they were the Muslim, they were the believers of the day. But obviously, Prophet Muhammad, we see that they was worshipping idols and what. And that's when Islam came. And basically, the religion, it just seemed like the right way, because it's worshipping one God and believing in
from what I understand,
the last day.
About, the two of them is obviously Christianity has a hierarchy in it. So there's the Pope, who is ultimately, I mean, there's different types of Christianity, but we're talking about that one particular one. They've built up like a pretty powerful sort of like hierarchy where the Pope is seen as like the closest thing to God on earth, and people almost worship him. Not quite as much as they do with God, but from what I know about Islam, there's none of that. It's just everybody's kind of on the same kind of level. Now, how much of Islam have you actually studied?
I've read about half the Quran, and don't get it twisted. I like every day. Like obviously, I don't pray 5 times a day, because obviously I'm Muslim for many years, and I still have to speak all the words, whatnot. But I know in my heart, I've been a Muslim for many 7, 8, 9, 10 years or something. But I know my heart is clean, and between me and is with it.
Oh damn! His thing's dipped again.
No way.
A bit.
There he is.
Daniel, you still there? Still there, Daniel?
This thing's
I can see it. It's back up to 3. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. So did you pick up Islam in jail, or were you into Islam before you got into jail?
Yeah, actually, I remember now. Someone did them times there, because I remember in school days we was hearing stories about people forcing people to become Muslims at gunpoint and stuff. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Stories. But yeah, I was in prison one time. I did sell with a Muslim guy, and he kind of was a Muslim, and he was there smoking fucking in the cell with him, yeah, and he's getting bare parcels of heroin while I'm in jail, yeah, smoking away the heroin in the cell all day long. Cellmate, you know.
I need to ask these
sharing,
questions,
not even sharing, you know. Like I didn't.
I was doing it on his ones. We were trying to out the truck, trying to pass the thing.
I was like, bring me in, bro.
Expecting me to watch the door. Man gave me one little toke, you know, after he's there all day, you know, one piece, and then expect me to watch the hats when the screws come.
Oh man,
you get me? Ordered the burger one time. It wasn't halal, and he's telling me the food. I'm saying what? Because I turned Muslim last week, and then you ain't changed. You're telling me to eat the food. You know what I mean? But yeah, but then I moved out of the cell with him because I couldn't take it, and he kind of forced it on me. But that was when I truly became a Muslim. I took my Shahada in jail in HMP Thameside quite a few years ago, about 5, 6 years ago. But yeah, it was blessed.
I was gonna ask, like, first of all, how many different prisons have you been at?
I've been to about 10.
10 different prisons.
Belmarsh, Brixton, Scrubs, Winchester, Elmley, Stamford Hill, Highdown, Thameside.
Where's
It's
Thameside?
about 10. I can't remember all. Thameside is I think it's near Belmarsh, next to Belmarsh.
Okay.
Thamesmead, I think it is.
Oh, Thamesmead. Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Okay. So then, fine.
but yeah, I saw the guy.
Thameside
You
is
know
the
the guy. Do you
prison.
remember that thing? That little girl, Tia Sharp, the one who the granddad killed her and wrapped her in the
Well, you
rug.
was there.
I seen him. One time I went caught at one
Flipping
mad
hell.
time, and I was in Belmarsh, and I came back about some mad time. There was no one about, and I see him in the room, and he just looked down and shook his head. I thought, rah, you get me?
Jeez. Yo, do you remember Paul O'Keefe? Do you remember Paul?
Paul O'Keefe, yeah, the Asian. No,
No.
Paul,
He was blonde. He had a little brother. His little brother,
yeah,
like 2
little
years
Paul
below her.
O'Keefe, yeah.
But he's been in and out himself. He's actually in this chat as well. He said he had a couple questions, so he's gonna throw a couple questions in here. But fine. So when you first went to prison, like describe your feelings.
It weren't even really. It was a bit of a really. I was kind of excited to think, "Wow, man's going to prison." Yeah, I mean, like, you know, when you used to hear
Bro, you
stories
sure that cracks
about
the
people
word
going
in your
to prison
system
and
or
look up to
something?
them.
What the hell?
Man.
Listen, see that separates
Yeah, like I was thinking,
the people that know. I mean, because for me, the thought of even going in there, I'm like, not for
Nope.
me. No.
And you'll hear say this in an adventure, like a
But
guy
man
flipping.
was like, it just kind of tells you. Man was like, yeah, this is an adventure.
That man's going to Fort Park.
Listen, I'm going in there to see Wagwan. Like, you know, I'm gonna check out what the hype is. You know, it's crazy, man.
yeah.
Bloody hell.
It was a bit of excitement, you know what I mean? Because it was like, rah, man's gone to prison. But when I first got there, I was thinking getting out in 2 weeks. I was thinking, yeah, because he said, oh yeah, they're gonna get a DRR. It should take 3 weeks for a report. It ended up taking 5 months.
Flipping out.
But yeah, my first time was on 5 months.
So, Simon, what's the longest stint that you've had?
Basically, this one that's done really because I technically just done a year. You know, I mean, I was out for 3 weeks, but I've done 6 months. Was out for 3 weeks and done 6 months. You could say that I basically just done a year, but the most I've done in one time is 7.5 months, I think.
So you've
the little sentences, you know what I mean? Like 6 months here, 7 months here, 6 months here.
You've been in the police station quite a fair bit, so you spent a lot of time in them dead ass police cells. Like we had someone on the last show, and we were talking about Yen and
the worst.
Talking about how people have been in them police cells and how technically I personally think that the prison cells might be a little bit better because at least you've got some kind of social life in there where there's other people.
Prison cells are much better.
Yeah, because the police cells are kind of like very isolated and, you know.
It's madness.
I feel when I'm in them
police cells. How much
cells,
shock I'm in with your story? God damn, man.
Yeah. Police cells, yeah, think of roots and slavery. But now I'm sitting there just thinking about the slaves, and I think, what they had to go through was a lot worse. I'm on that bed and I'm in that position. That's what I'm feeling like. I'm feeling like a slave. I swear down. And you see that thing on the being sick. Yes, man, being sick and tired. You get me? But yeah, the police stations are not nice. I done 4 days on the bank holiday Friday and good Friday, bank holiday Monday.
Jeez. So because that's what I was trying to. I said that to someone one time. That's just on a whim. That if you go in on bank holiday Friday, you're not coming out.
4 days. You're not coming out for a while. Nobody's doing nothing.
So that's true then.
Tuesday, but sometimes.
No, go on.
Yeah, but sometimes I think they got a court on Monday now. So even if it's good on bank holiday Monday, they still got a court now still. But I've done the 4 days: the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday in the police station. It's not nice.
Damn, that's crazy.
family, like
But yeah, even in
I'm
prison nowadays.
what?
And I said, stop smoking and whatnot. You know what I mean? So back in the days, there was a lot of drugs and a lot of cigarettes and whatnot. But now you can't smoke no more. So you know what I mean?
That's the thing. That's the thing. Do you
But
know
yeah,
what?
go
Like
on.
sometimes you see on social media, yeah, like some of these guys in prison, they seem like they're just living a life. They literally seem like
Yeah,
they
what do you mean?
kind of
They
want to
can't.
be in prison.
Yeah, some people, it is easier in prison because if you think a man's homeless and it's freezing cold out here, he's gonna be living better in prison where they cook. You know, like some homeless drunkard man or something. He don't cook for himself, man. You get me? They're gonna be cooking him food. They're gonna be washing his clothes. He's got a roof
Yeah,
over her head.
all
He's
of
got
that.
a TV.
Yeah,
You get me? And
that's
some
it.
people in there can make a lot of money off of the
Mm.
spice because the spice thing is what's going mad in jail right now.
What?
Everyone's going mad having spice attacks and smoking spice.
What is
So
spice?
you can make a
I'm
lot of
so
money off of
naive.
that in
Like,
jail.
what is spice?
Yeah, give me, please
They used to put
enlighten
it
us
on like a
on what spice is. Like, let us know.
yeah.
Give us. I've heard about it
Because I
sometimes,
tell
but
you
I
the
don't know
truth, I've been smoking that hard in prison. See, when I was in prisons, spice got me through. I love mixes
You
with
know what them
rashes,
ones?
I'm telling you.
Like
Fire, baby.
fire,
Sorry.
baby.
So go on. So go on.
Whoa.
What is it?
I was high in jail. I'm in jail smoking spliffs a day, bruv. And like when hear this now, when there ain't no tobacco, with the tobacco out, what do you think man are smoking a spliff with? PG tips, rude boy.
I've
Man's
heard.
running around the ring trying to get PG tips. I'm telling you. And you get the cigarette patch, you get the nicotine patch, and you put it on the plate, you heat it up, you take off the patch, and you get the nicotine, you rub it in the tea bag, and you smoke that, and it's like a fag. And that's what man was doing in jail, brothers.
I love
Smoking
a lot,
best
man.
spice.
I love the
Bruv, there's people
resourcefulness,
like,
man.
100%. But it's
bro, there was
crazy
a
though.
brother used to smoke his spliffs or whatever, and he used to drop hot rocks because he's smoking tea bag on his jumper. And he come out one time to get medication with about 50 holes, 30, 40, 50 holes where he's burnt in his jumper. And this is in jail. You know, like when you smoke a cigarette, and if it was to drop and it was to burn a hole in
Yeah.
your jumper,
Bloody
he's
hell,
smoking
bro.
tea bag, it drops. And my man's walking out on the wing with like 50 jumper, yeah, and all ash all over his thing, looking high. Bruv, it was madness. Still, the
Like,
thing. They used to call it, was it mambulance, because people were smoking it and having man downs. It was a madness in the jail, bro.
man said he knows certain people that used to use
Trust me.
Bible paper for Rizla. Fucking hell.
Who said that?
Oh.
Yeah, that's what we have to use. We had to use
That's
Bible and Shephat, I'm
disrespectful,
telling
bro.
you.
Bro, that's
Yeah,
disrespectful.
You know what? Okay, so
yeah, trust
on
me.
a more serious note, on the last show we had a lawyer on here.
Oh, jeez, that actually brought tears to my
We
eyes,
had
Paul.
Yeah, she was, man.
yeah, she was. We were trying to get in the conversation about obviously police bias and some of the treatment of black people towards from the police. So have you seen any sort of like, obviously because you've been on the other side, we're looking at it from what we've experienced from not being in the prison system or being in trouble with the law too much.
All right.
Have you seen anything your end that kind of confirms that there is definitely a bias towards sort of that the black community or ethnic communities from the police?
I think in 2020, and over all my, I've been a criminal. I've had a whole criminal history. I've had a whole criminal career. You know what I mean? But it's over now. But in my whole criminal career, I never really got biased, or maybe because I'm mixed race. I don't know. But I'm still classed as a black man. But really racism and things. See, it's always there because the people who are running is 80% white people. White people, so the majority. That always was, but in jails and whatnot, that there was a lot of racism and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it was more they'd look down on you if you're an idiot or if you're just a petty little minor criminal and you know what I mean. I'm like, yeah. But yeah, it's like it's mad still.
Like,
I've never really noticed any
did you I've heard
racism and whatnot.
stuff about sort of like a gang system in the prisons as well, where people try and identify, you know, what gangs you're from and where. Did you see any of that, or did you come across any sort of like?
Yeah, the youngsters.
Right.
Yeah. And if you heard of them Harlem Spartans, do you remember them?
No.
The little rap group. But yeah, I was in jail with them. They done pretty well. Like Lowski, he's a part of the Harlem Spartans.
Right.
Yeah,
You're
I
not from
cut
Brixton,
a couple. Yeah, I cut off one of their heads. Brixton.
Okay.
That's where I was from.
Right.
Yeah, I grew up in Brixton and Kennerton as well.
Okay.
But yeah, the youngsters, their gang activity in jail. Them youngsters, bruv, they will stab you. They don't care. It's a madness, bruv. Like it's like it's on site, innit? In jail with these youngsters and the gangs, they don't care what they're off. They don't care what whatever. But if they see me, it's on. Like it's mad in the jail, getting beaten up.
Oh, he dipped.
Oh no, getting some juicy information as well.
I can't get over that flipping Bible paper for Rizla comment, bro.
Yeah, man. Like,
the disrespect
really
is mad.
Sorry, Daniel, go on.
You know, he's dipping in and out.
Away from it.
What you say? Oh, he's dipped, I think.
Again. But I mean, bro, like from what it sounds like, this is obviously some inside information from someone who's been in the system and understands it. It just kind of seems like it's a harsh environment.
I mean, Paul, you're in the comments. You've been in and out. You said 2.5 years. Like, drop in the comments like what you were in for and kind of your experiences, Paul. Seeing as you're here, I wish Amir was still here. Actually, I think he bounced. But I think overall, like the thing that there's a couple of things that kill me about this story is that, as I said at the top of the show, the potential this brother had. Who? Oh, Amir's still here.
See,
like Amir, tell us your story. I told you I know things, bro. I'm out here. I don't care. I know things, bro. I got my ears to the ground. What's it called? Is that his potential was through the roof?
Mm-hmm.
Was actually through the roof. In fact, put it this way, our school, like our school head boy for our year. If Daniel was here, he would remember him. Name is Jean. He was one of my proper good friends. Sick producer, doing everything that he could, like just to, what's it called? Just to like get himself in the game. Do you remember what's his name? Slider Skills. I still have one of his CDs. But do you remember Agro Santos? Do you remember? I got a free yard, man. Come through. I can see my gang. Do you remember that song?
Yeah, I know Agro Santos.
Yeah. He went to Salesian. He was in our school. He was the year below us.
Wow.
Yeah, so cool. He was always.
I remember, and
he was always in the music room with myself, Jean, a couple other guys.
Yeah,
a couple other guys as
come
well.
and get you some candy.
Yeah, them two. But this brother Jean taught him more than that. Anyway, fast forward to about 2012, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, he was always trying to come.
Jean was similar to Daniel, actually.
Trying to float with us because we was older.
He was like this. I'm going to call him by his government. Yuri, he had no flow. Yuri was classically trained. Yuri was classically trained. He was like grade 8 on piano. He was nice. Guitar, nice. The guy was so nice, but he really wanted to be like one of these bad men, and he went out to be like that. Anyway, Jean taught him a lot of the things that the guy knew. And fast forward, Jean basically in 2012 went missing for a little bit. Right? But he was similar to Daniel in the sense that Jean, I knew that he was smoking weed from the age he was 12. Yeah. I knew that Jean was doing that. He was selling it all and this, that, the other. But this boy became head of the flipping school in year 11. He goes missing in 2012. Nobody knows where he's going. I get call from police saying you were the last one to be in contact with him. So what? I just posted something on this flipping Facebook page. Long story short, I knew the guy as a weed smoker. It's around King's Day in Holland. I was like, listen, I know my boy, he's going to be in Holland, King's Day. So they actually sent the police out to Holland and they managed to track him down in Holland, but he was fine and everything. He stayed out there for like 4 or 5 months. But what's crazy is that like his potential was another crazy potential, which I don't know where it got lost in the system that he then like got so lost, if that makes sense.
Wow, sounds like you lot had a ton of talent in that school, man.
Bro, I'm telling you, like we had athletes, the athletes we had in our school. One brother, Jason Chin, his name is, yeah. This brother was running almost, it was like running 11-1 or 11-2.
Wow.
At 12, 13 years old. Are you mad? 11-2 at that age.
Jeez.
He was wetting.
Rapid.
He had another one who was mad over 200 meters. Jason Richardson, lanky.
Yeah,
he had a boy called Sam. I forgot his last name, but it was a Ghanaian brother. Funny as hell. He was sprinting. People people pace themselves on the 400 meters. This guy was wetting. Samuel, he was wetting the whole way around. Yeah.
Oh, little
yeah,
Sam.
You remember? He was wetting the whole way around.
He was sprinting.
Bruv, it was a joke. It was a joke.
Tried to do the 400, but he was killing it.
That's why I get upset. Yeah, I get upset.
He back like Michael.
There was so much potential in our school. Yeah, he had that. You know Michael Johnson's running technique, same, and he wetted the 400 meters the same.
Yeah, the same.
Head up like that, all that stiff upper body. It was mad, but it's like, and that ginger Chris,
back stiff.
Yeah, bro. But that's what I'm saying. Like, thinking back to our school, like there was so much potential. That's why, like Daniel, when Daniel says the school system didn't fail you, he's right, because a lot of people can seek their own opportunities. But to a certain degree, as I said, we were that kind of anomaly cohort between 99 and say 2006, although we finished in 2004, because they didn't know what to do with us.
My question is, do you think obviously the backgrounds and the stuff that all of you lot were going through created that pool of talent? Because
what'd you say? Sorry, repeat it.
Do you think that all of this, the environment and the background that you lot came from, created that pool of talent?
100%. 100%.
But obviously when you got to like
create the talent.
Yeah. Like the environment that you came from created the talent that you guys have.
I think sometimes talents have to be something inside you, innit? Obviously, like you just got to try and do something, and then maybe you can, because I think like with me, I was quite naturally talented with things. Things come naturally to me. You know what I mean? I could, like with cutting hair, I could pick it up, and I was half decent from the first time when I started doing it. You know what I mean?
So like,
but yeah.
Do you think that the school system that you were in, and I'm not shitting on the school system or nothing, do you think they failed to recognize some of the talent there and maybe push it or was it down to the individuals that maybe didn't push themselves?
I think it's down to the individuals. Yeah, I think it's down to the individuals, because we grew up in a time where it wasn't as mad as it is nowadays. Nowadays, I think if I was 16 nowadays, I don't know if I'd still be here, because all this beef and this is crazy now. They're beefing man who lives 10 minutes down the road from them. Where when we was growing up, it was different. Man had brethrens in this postcode, in that postcode, and all over. You get me? But now they're stabbing man for no reason and killing man just because he lived 2 minutes out because he looked at man funny. You know what I mean? But we grew up in a time when it was different, and I think if we wanted to do something, we wanted to be something, we could.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Daniel, do you remember this maths teacher,
Mr. Shields.
Which one?
Mr. Shields? Me and Paul was actually
Mr.
talking about this
Shields.
fella the other day.
I can't
Remember, he would sip his vodka or his whiskey throughout the class. Remember, he dashed
Yeah.
Paul. I think he actually dashed a chair or a
Wow.
table at Paul.
Mm-mm.
I'm not even playing.
Wow.
He
I
dashed
can't even remember that
something
one.
at somebody. You
I
probably
don't think
wasn't there. You probably wasn't there.
Yeah, I don't think I was in club. Because I think, you know what happened? I think towards 10 and 11, because my grades, I fucked up so much, they took me out of the top class and put me in the second top class. So, yeah.
Who was
Because in
Who's
year
the second
7
top
and
class?
year
Wasn't
8,
Mr. Howell what his name was?
Mr. Howells or something. The guy with the glasses, but he was cool.
Yeah.
I
it was
remember it got
Bless
to
guy.
a point where I'd put my hand. Yeah, I'd put my hand up in the math class and pick me because I'd always have my hand up first. I don't know if you remember certain
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
I'd ask the question and
Because
I'd
you was on it.
be like, boom. And it
So,
was
Daniel, my question is
maths,
like,
yeah.
you
I was
clearly
on it
had
still.
like a huge,
Even when
a huge talent for maths. Do you think you still got that talent, like, or is it? Do you think it's a wrap for you with the math talent that you had?
over the years, all the talents and the things that I've had inside me and the knowledge and the wisdom, I've not just took it and thrown it around and dig a hole and put it in there. I've tried to do things with it. You know what I mean? While I was in prison and certain things, a lot of books.
Mm-hmm.
I've studied things like about the universe and like Fibonacci sequence, things like this that they don't teach in school. You know what I mean? Thoughts affect matter. You know what I mean? I've done a lot of research and theological studies over the years. You know what I mean? I might not be able to scientifically tell you this and that, like in that sort of way. The thing, but physiology, wisdom wise, I've learned a lot, and I'm happy with who I am, you know, over the years, man. But yeah,
Well, I mean, it's crazy because obviously if you're in there for a period of time, the only thing you can do to pass the time really is pick up the books, isn't it?
yeah.
Is he there? Daniel
Either
there?
getting high, you know what I mean, trying to be positive.
Get high or read the books.
Let me throw this question at you, Dan.
Can you hear me?
Fine. Say if you were 17 again. Or in fact, no, rewind all the way back to you being your 10, 11-year-old self, just before things changed with your mumsy and that. What would you have wanted to have happened to not lead you down this path? Apart, obviously, say your mum still did what she did. You personally, what external
Great
help
question.
do you think would have helped? Don't tell me you dipped. You probably did, innit?
Good. That is a hard question.
Yeah, I think he's in and
Oh,
out
no,
still.
he's in and out.
Give him a minute.
Taking drugs. Yeah.
Oh, we're missing the good bits. Hold on.
At least it gives him a minute to think about it.
Mm.
Just about. You're dipping in and out again,
Can you hear
bro.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go on.
Oh, mate. Yeah. And basically,
No, go for it.
where was I saying again?
So no, start
I
from the
can't remember what I
top
was saying
because we
now.
missed most of it.
What
Do you want me to repeat the question?
was we going on about again? Yeah, please. Sorry.
I mean, I just asked what you would have, what support you would have wanted as that 10, 11, 12-year-old
Yeah.
kid,
Okay.
even if your
Yeah,
mum was
but
still doing what
I
she was
think
doing. Like, what would you have changed?
that's a hard question, you know, because I think maybe it would have been better if there was more external help. If they would if the school, okay, we can see that he's not coming, so there's certain problems maybe at home. But the thing is, the school, to be honest, is like they didn't care. They didn't do nothing about my situation. I mean, the fact that my mum's at home taking drugs and man's got drugs, people in man's got to go to school and this and that. Like, the school didn't like seem to care at all. You know what I mean? They didn't seem to care at all. It's like I just kind of laugh at them. But at that age, it's hard. You know, it's hard to say what external things. A lot of times, I bet within ourselves. You know what I mean? If in this country is a good country, if you really want to achieve something, you can. I bet, you know what I mean?
That's true, but you have to bear in mind
I don't really think it was anything
between 10, 12 years old. Your mental maturity is not where it probably should be, and your emotional maturity is not where it should be.
Of course.
At that, you're still developing. In fact, I said to my girlfriend the other day, realistically, I think the most dangerous age for anybody growing up is between the ages of 10 and 13. And she always goes, why? I said, because you'll be surprised as to how much you know at the age of 10. By the time you get to 13, oh my God, you're equipped with so much knowledge and you're exposed to so much at them ages, yet you will get away with it because everybody sees you as being too young. It's the most dangerous age. But that's why I say, like, what do you think in hindsight would have helped you? Because clearly there was a lot going on. Clearly, that's why I still think the school system probably failed you, because working in the job I work in, I do a lot of stuff to do with safeguarding children and adults. So knowing how these guys actually study these things and actually monitor these things, they should have from a long way away knew something was up, because you cannot be as talented as you are and not take anybody's notice and then have 18% attendance. That's not 1+1 to anybody.
I don't think it was as monitored as it is nowadays.
Bro,
listen,
times you just had flipping Damanola Taylor happen. Victoria Climbier was about to happen.
I think that stuff was kicking it off. Because if you think like nowadays, if my son is absent for a morning, just a morning, if he misses the morning of school, if it's like there's a letter or there's an email or some crap, like they're onto me. Like, no, seriously, like they're onto people. No, so now it's changed a lot. I think you're talking 15, 16 years ago. You're talking like back then.
No. As I said,
the same.
Me doing these safeguarding courses now, trust me, bro. They've been monitoring this stuff as harder than you think for a long time. They know how to monitor these things. They know the telltale signs. Baby P, for example, although Baby P is a bit more. Do you remember that one, Baby P and Haringey?
I think so. Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, that caused such uproar because everybody turned a blind eye to obvious signs.
Yeah.
But this is not. But that was history repeating itself, because 10 years before that, you had Victoria Climbier, the one that was getting beaten up and like malnourished and everything, still going to school with flipping welts and stuff like that on her. They can see it, but they're not doing anything. So they've had these things. Damanola Taylor, that was just an unfortunate situation, and he got caught up in what he got caught up in, unfortunately. But they still monitored these things. It came out that they kind of knew that something was going on with the brother. So it's like, I'm telling you, they know about these things. That's what's sad about Daniel's situation, because it's not like they could not do nothing. I reckon, for example, I mentioned this Mr. Lamb fella. If Daniel was in this Mr. Lamb's class, I guarantee you this guy would be like, hey, what's going on with Daniel, please? And something would have been raised. But our teachers, they come in to do their one thing, which is do their job and leave, which is fair enough, because their job is hard, especially being in our school. Like, you heard how mad our school is. Being in our school was crazy. So I guess you do want to just do your job and go. But unfortunately, being a public servant as they are, working with kids, it's a bit more. Your job is a bit more than just actually teaching. You actually do become an unsolicited kind of guardian that you don't know that you are. Unfortunately. And that's where I think the system failed people like Daniel. I'm telling you, this on my life, this guy could be Elon Musk. He could be. He could have been, sorry.
Well, look, Daniel's got the opportunity now. He's free.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
He's home.
Definitely.
He's happy. He's got the opportunity now. And like he said, we live in a very good country. And this is kind of what I was trying to say in the last podcast as well about some people that complain about opportunities and shit. We live in a country where there's a shit ton of opportunities, bro. Like we're miles ahead of some of the other places across the world. Like even like the basics, like Daniel was saying about food, water, all that kind of stuff. So you're already in an environment that encourages sort of progress, and you know, like it's the basis of greatness because you've got all of the little tools at the base to help you. And all you need really is kind of like a drive and a desire to try and get certain things done. You know that we've been, you know, what I mean,
You need inspiration.
Yeah, you need some inspiration. Of course, you need to have sort of like set goals or whatever. But at the same time, the opportunities are there, man. Like if you just got to sink your teeth in and just crack on with it, really. I mean, man learned barbering in fucking jail. Like other people are paying for that shit.
You know, I'm gonna pull out that comment again.
So when you look at it, really, he's taking it. He's already started. He's already started taking the situation into his own hands because he's managed to go in there. How many people you know come out of jail with a skill? Some people just go in there, come back, get on the roads.
Yeah, but that happened to Daniel for the best part of how long? You said the past 12 years. You said that's what's happened to Daniel. Like he's come out a road, relapsed, gone back in, done a madness, or come out, done a madness, gone back in. So I think the thing is, this is again such a big topic, which is I think so important to discuss. Is like when you're incarcerated, the process when you come out. How can you help those people? Because a lot of people are just like, let's okay, cool, you're out now. Nothing. You can't get a job because it's marked on your records, or it's so hard to get a job. People like Paul, he's done well for himself, set up a little business, and he's doing what he's doing. Well done to you, Paul. But a lot of people don't have that same initiative. In fact, 99% don't have that same initiative. So, and it's like, what the thing is that how can that system be improved? How can you change it?
You see,
not change it, help it.
That's the question, obviously, that needs to be asked, because we were talking about probation in the last episode. How probation is shit. People don't really. You don't get nothing from probation. So I feel like we need to have another system set up for people that come out of jail, because clearly some of the stuff that we're doing isn't working.
A lot of stuff isn't working.
But do you think that also comes down to the individual as well? Like, do you think it's down to the individual when he comes out? Because a lot of people keep, re-offending and getting back in. So do you think that's just a trace from the individual, or do you think it's a bit of both, where the systems let them down and they've let themselves down?
Is that a question for me or Daniel?
Both. Yeah, jump in. Anybody jump in. It's a conversation.
Is Daniel here? I'll let him try and go first. Yeah, he's dipped.
It's the a lot.
Hold on. Daniel, you still there?
He's just dipping in and out again. I can see his volume going up, but not really, bro.
But yeah, boom. Basically, it's the drugs. A lot of people who come. A lot of people who come in the cycle of jail and go back is because of the drugs. Because if you're not on drugs and you come out, really and truly, there's no reason for you to be committing crime. What reason do you need to commit crime? You know what I mean? As long as you got somewhere to live and you got a bit of food in your belly, you're all right. It's like, no, I don't need no crime. I got a roof over my head. I got food in my belly. What more do I need? I mean, but when you're on the drugs, that's the 80% spending rate, because you come back out, they come back homeless. They come back out homeless, nowhere to stay. Because for me, a lot of times that happened. I came out of jail now, homeless, with nothing, with £47 in my pocket and the clothes on my back and bag of clothes. So when I'm coming out of jail homeless with nothing now, What is there to do? What is there to excite me? What is there? I'm homeless. What is there?
Mm.
I might as well just do drugs. You know what I mean? There ain't nothing. There's the point. I've come out of jail homeless. I ain't got nothing here. I ain't got one here for me. I ain't got no money. I got £47 in my pocket. What am I meant to do? You get me? So man's gonna buy drugs. Boom, get back on it. Man's got to find somewhere to stay tonight. Go and find a friend. It's a madness. You know what I mean? So the 80% reoffending rate, I think, is a lot. Is because of the people on drugs and whatnot. You know what I mean? But other than that, it's a lot of the county lines things and bigger crimes and whatnot. But yeah,
It's coming
a
from
lot of
Paul.
the reoffending and whatnot.
It's coming from Paul. You're not being rude, but you can't blame everything on drugs.
Yeah.
What do you say to that?
Yeah, no, of course you can't drugs, but because for me, I did blame it all on drugs because, well, it's how can we blame it on drugs? It's like I've come out of jail all these times with nothing. What am I? It's just I was just getting straight back on, and that's the only thing that I've got to excite me. So then I'll get back out. My just now, you've got nothing. Make some money. Boom, cool.
Do you think there's an element of like finance in there as well? Obviously, because a lot of people
Drugs.
come out of jail with nothing. So you think there's an element of like finance? Do you think if there was maybe a system set up where people were given a set amount of money and said, "Here you go, do what you need to do," or do you think that would be worse for people? Obviously, people like
As
yourself.
long as they weren't on drugs.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like people who have like a substance problem, like. Do you think it would just send them back in the same way? Because obviously you said you came out of jail with not much money and
Yeah.
nothing to do
If
really.
I came out,
So like if you came out and let's say the government said, look,
yeah.
we got a little scheme, we're gonna give you a grant, we're gonna give you a place to stay, and here's some money to get yourself together. Do you think that would have been better for you? Do you think that would have probably deterred you from going back onto the drugs, or you think you would have went straight back into the drugs situation?
If man came out of jail, man was like mentality of where how I was before to use drugs, and they gave me that money would have just got smoked away. You get me? It would have been not trying to give money like that. What they need to do is when you get out, they need to support you with housing and benefits. You know what I mean? You stable, get you a bit of stability. Like me now, I've got somewhere to live. I got my benefits up. You get me? So a man's just trying to look a barber job now or something. You get me? Because that's obviously that's probably skill that I've got. Because all these years I've been what I'm doing. So the only managed to get is barbering, but I've managed to become really good at that. I've got 10 years experience, man. Still, yeah, because I can see
Boy.
Paul O'Keefe's dropping some big questions. Still.
Yeah, man. Because the thing is, I was talking to
Yeah.
Paul the other day. In fact, I randomly bumped into him probably like now 5-6 years ago. I think we said it was, and he said he's just come out himself after a 2.5 year
Yeah.
stint. So he's got a bit of an insight as well. Amir said he was in for 7 months as well. Imagine this, like I feel crazy. Like we all went to the same school, and some of the people in here, I ain't been in prison. Who you man? It's like, raw. What's going on? But the thing is, it's crazy because guys, and all of you just had your different potentials. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, your story is crazy, but I think it's an eye opener because at the top of the show I said, well, when you're cutting out, it shows how easy things go left. Easy.
It's like a sequence of decisions, isn't it?
Yeah.
Decisions or events which are out of your control.
Sometimes, okay, if events can be out of decision you make puts you in rather on the right track or the wrong track.
That's very true.
Everybody's gonna go through shit, bro. Don't get it twisted. Obviously, what Daniel went through was crazy. Like I don't even know if I would be here if I went through that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I
But
got an addictive nature, bruv. I would have been on that
yeah,
crack.
straight up. I would listen from what he said about crack.
I would have
and
been on
from-
that crack. And
I
then
would
smoking
have
the
been-
heroin like that?
Yo,
Nah, bruv, that's
bro.
me.
Yeah, same.
It would have been mad.
Done.
But for me, yes, things are gonna happen. The thing is, when I look at life is hard. Life is just one of them things. It's gonna throw all sorts of crazy shit. You might be riding high one moment, and you're gonna get slapped with some crazy shit sometimes. It kind of just boils down to the decisions you make after these things have happened to you. So it's. I think it goes back to the school system. If they were teaching kids how to think,
Yeah.
if they were teaching kids how to think, we wouldn't have half the issues that we've got. Because some people, like Paul, wasn't getting that thought process at home. His mum was doing whatever she was doing, and a lot of us, parents are busy working, doing whatever. Like we're not getting that time with them for them to teach us how to think. A lot of people, when you think about it, when people have got the perfect home set up, for instance, where they've got mum and dad, and they're learning from a man and a woman, or two women and a man, whatever setup you've got at home, right? Because it's 2021, and that's what we're dealing with at the moment. It's normal life for people, right? If you've got two adults at home teaching you how to think, really asking you questions, because that's what I do with my son. I'm not going to kill him off when he does something crazy. We're going to have a conversation because I want him to really think. I want him to have an idea and think for himself. My problem with school is they don't teach you how to think. They teach you how to fit into a system.
A stereotype.
Yeah. And that doesn't do well for a lot of people. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You've got to teach people how to think, because if something happens to you and you're really thinking about it, you're going to think, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to come up with an idea that gets you out of the situation, because you're human and you're always going to think about how you want to survive. Everybody's got a survival nature in them.
Very forward. Yeah.
Right. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So we're not
We're
really
like water.
teaching people
We're trying
how
to find.
Right. So we're not really, I don't think we're really teaching people how to properly think in schools. And that's my biggest problem with schools. It's like, do this, learn this, go out there, do this. What the fuck is that? Like, seriously, what's that? Because not everybody has a mom and dad at home.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like some people are, some people are coming from troubled homes. You know what I'm trying to say? So the school system, unfortunately, as much as they might not want to, that's
right.
for society to thrive and for society to not to have some of the issues we've got, because they're the same people that quickly go home and bitch about the crime that's going on in their area and rare. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? We need to kind of have a system that teaches people how to think in the right kind of way, because that's where I think schools are failing. We're teaching kids about some people that were doing a mazza like hundreds of years ago. What the fuck is that going to do for them? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's chopping man's head off and that. What the fuck?
Yeah, Henry.
Because he had 7 holes in it.
What are you going to do with Henry VIII and his wives and all that? What does that teach? You know what I mean? Like,
how's that going to help you in day-to-day life?
If you're a gallis, you're thinking,
it would be better to teach you about avoiding. Yeah, like if they taught man how to avoid being sent to country, you know what I mean? They should have a class in school, even if it was just 1 week, and it teach you life lessons about how there's knives and now there's gangs and exactly what you was just talking about. They should have, which teaches life skills.
Yeah, I think it's
teaches you.
They should have something that encouraging kids to think on their own.
The point in them teaching you, like you said, about 8th.
Oh, sorry, go on. Can't hear you, Daniel.
Yeah, it dips again.
But yeah, like going back to my point, I feel like we've got to do something with that. Obviously, Kofi, I know you've got little ones, and me, just the way I kind of try and talk to my little one, just to try and get him to think. I try and get him to think all the time.
Do you know what it is? What I learned from Peace, Paul, by the way. Thank you very much for your contributions, man. What I learned from a young age was a certain level of independence,
Yeah.
because my mum was a nurse, worked mad hours. My dad worked in finance, and his job, his company got liquidated. Not his personal company, the company he worked for got liquidated. And so then he was out of a job, and he's an African man with African qualifications. Obviously, they don't recognize that too tough here.
Mm-hmm.
So then, oh, my camera's gone. Bloody hell. So then what happens is that they start to work extra hard. My dad starts doing cabin and stuff like that. Next thing you know, flipping me and my sister were 9, 10 years old, and we're left home by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at 9, 10 years old. So we gain a certain level of independence from young.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my stepdaughter, she is not that way kind of inclined, because she's always been around parents and adults and all this stuff. Now, what I learned from my youth was that a certain level of creativity
Mm.
is in everybody. You have to take your time to kind of learn that of your child. Like my stepdaughter, she's a fantastic artist. Like she can just draw, and I want to get that out of her more times than not. Like I always encourage her to do some drawing. I said, look, if you do a drawing today, I'll give you £1 or something like that. It's about learning. It's about taking time and learning your child, and I think that extends to school, especially in this day and age where everything is a lot of things. No, a, a lot of things to kids is social media. It's all TikTok. It's all this new dance. It's all this, that, the other. Everybody wants to kind of create and show what they can do. The creative side to kids needs to come out. And what you were saying earlier, I think teaching needs a whole different reform. You can't teach everybody needs to know the basics of maths. Everybody needs to know how to write.
Mm-hmm.
Being a scientist is going to hurt me to say it. Not everybody needs to know about science, unfortunately.
I'll tell you what. I
Everybody needs to know.
think one of the key things we're missing, and sorry to cut you, is
That's cool.
bloody English. English is so underrated because you know we're
We
like
have to have good teachers for that.
humans are like we're the top of the food chain for a reason. We're extremely intelligent. Like if you think about it,
Supposedly.
right? We're supposed to be, right?
Mhm.
But the problem most people have, they can't express themselves.
Mm.
I can't express myself as much as I would like to. Do you understand
Mm-hmm.
what I'm trying to say? This is why I'm constantly trying to read books and stuff to just try and, you understand what I'm trying to say? Like to keep the mind going. But
Facts, though.
man, that's a good point. But what I'm trying to say is English, even though because we take it for granted because obviously we're in England, this is where the English language started, right? So we're thinking, yeah, like we know how to speak English. We
Still a very
don't.
basic language.
Like
We
we
don't.
really don't know how to speak English. When you
don't.
talk to foreigners,
They
like, people,
speak.
they speak better English than
Yeah,
we do. People
they
that
speak.
have, like someone that's Russian and is learning English, they learn English better than we do, and we've lived here.
Because they learn the structure. But that's the thing. Like, they could apply the same to us, though. Like when if I was learning Spanish, right, I'll say things like by what a textbook says. Like you're saying, you structure it this way.
Mhm.
But then when I speak to the missus who is Spanish, she's like, so I get what you're saying, but we wouldn't actually use that word. We would use this word.
Right.
And how we structure, like English legit is actually a very lazy and all over the place language.
Mhm.
No matter how you want to look at it, even structurally, like it's so bad.
Mhm.
So you're right. Like Russians, French, German, Italian, all of these people will speak better English than we do because of how you actually should structure a sentence.
Yeah, but that's the thing that if other languages, they can. I mean, it's a bit of a wide question or like a big question, but the point I was trying to make is, if we knew how to sort of express ourselves better, we can get our ideas out there, like, and we can kind of understand each other better. If someone,
I'm going to battle you on that one and say I beg to differ.
right? How so?
When you say ideas, okay, a lot of ideas are literally just born in your head. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now in fact, I'll take this for example. I didn't write none of this down. I literally thought to myself, I see, yes, a lot of people are doing podcast and this, that, the other. I just wanted to do something where I just wanted to literally have what I feel is insightful conversations with people and learn something each and every time we put on a show. This I just would one day I hollered at you. Do you want to do this show? Next thing you know, I hollered at somebody. They did the graphics for the thing, the graphics for the logo. Somebody else did the graphics for the intro. Next thing you know, we've got a show. Yeah, it took a couple of months to do it just because we needed to.
Yeah, you know what? I remember when you said it because I had to throw down the mix, the scratching and that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like,
Amir,
shit.
Peace, brother.
Love for the support, Amir. Thank you for coming on. I think we fought it up in about 2 minutes.
Huh?
On the phone for about 2 minutes. I was like, yeah, use this song and we're gonna. And I was like, 100%, don't worry, I got this.
Yeah, exactly.
I got this.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Like you say, like you need to somehow. There's times where yes, you do need to articulate yourself, but in this day and age, not really. Not really. If you just do it, put it out there, yeah, you'll see like what comes of it. And for me, like all of this is a learning process. Like I'm not even gonna beat around the bush or chat shit to you guys. Like all of this is a learning process to us. Like all this setup, my camera's still dipping in and out. I haven't learned my lesson by buying a fake battery, for example, and we're on our 9th episode. All dumb stuff like that. I'm learning on the fly, but this is just doing. And I think that comes to a lot of things. I think sometimes, in fact, a lot of the time you can overthink. Just do. And I think we need to teach our kids to find ways to express themselves and be comfortable, confident enough to do it. Know they're gonna fail, but at the same time, Daniel, you're sideways, by the way. But at the same time, there you go. But at the same time, be comfortable enough to know that you should keep trying and keep expressing yourself.
I think part of expressing yourself though is being able to speak. Do you know what I mean? Use
it's
your
part
words.
Of it. It's part of it. But I've never been the best speaker.
Yeah, of course. And that's fine. But I think a lot of people suffer from not being able to properly express themselves.
100%. 100%. 100%. But you try through failure.
Yeah.
You learn through failure. Sorry.
Not everybody has that goal to say, right, I'm gonna show you. If I can't say it, I'm gonna show you. Not everybody has that. I think people rely on, and they're quite limited sometimes because they rely on being able to speak. So the point I was trying to make is if we utilize English better at school, I think if you think about like half of these rappers and stuff, they're quite intelligent.
Very intelligent with their wordplay, yeah.
With their word, they're quite intelligent. Those guys, how many more rappers would we have if we were teaching people how to properly throw down English in school?
Well, in this day and age, they'll all be dropped out because nobody ever like rap is what they term it 8th grade level of education. That's literally the level of rap that they say is out there now. It's 8th grade, which is again about year 7, 8 for English people. So it shows how dumbed down it is, isn't it? So I don't know. I get what you mean. I fully get what you mean. And
I think someone like Nas with his wordplay is much higher.
Well, they study Nas and Eminem at Harvard. It shows how sophisticated that their structures and how they and their wordplay and their poetry and their storytelling is just amazing. So you're right. You're right. But again, in this day and age, I think a lot of things is more expressive, more than learning to be able to write down something and articulate. However, I do get why it's important to have exercises in English, for example, which then allow you to possibly go on and express yourself. That makes sense.
100.
I think. Sorry, Daniel. We've been just talking while I think we've been trying to let your connection just stabilize a little. Can you hear us?
Yeah. I saw yellow bars, man.
Yeah. I mean, we've been going for almost 2 hours now, so we're gonna wrap up in a sec. If there was if you had to change something about, we can't go back to when we were growing up because we've had our time, and I think I don't know if it's a fair question because again you've been in and out of prison for the past best part of the decade. But what do you feel that because you've seen all the youths in prison just coming out being wild, what do you think they could do with when they were in school to first of all keep them out of there, and secondly allow them to be able to contribute more to society by getting their best out of their own talents?
I think that the way they need to do it is they need to get more people like me. You know what I mean? There's no point in getting someone who's learned about road in university to come and teach you about road, and on the road, who knows the road, to come and teach you about the roads. You know what I mean? I think they need in school teaching them more things about life, like my man was saying, life skills and whatnot. You know what I mean? They need to teach them from young about what's happening in the world and how there's gangs and all these temptations and whatnot. Rather than like my man has man used pipe since man was 16. Man hasn't used it. You know what I mean? So it would have been better, man, to stay away from drugs. If they taught man to stay away from drugs, or instead of teaching man Pythagoras, then maybe the story might have been different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there's a conversation about drugs that a lot of people don't want to have, because the notion around drugs, like if you take something like cannabis, for instance, like people, some of the stuff you hear about is just nonsense, isn't it? Until you actually get around people that's taken drugs, half the stuff you're going on is just
hearsay.
Hearsay. It's propaganda.
Yeah.
Like we've obviously had more of an insight into drugs just from talking to you. How many people are going to have that conversation with someone that knows drugs and has taken drugs? Most people are just going to go on the fucking nonsense that's been fed to them about drugs. You see what I'm trying to say? And those conversations are not being had at home or in school or whatever. And I feel that's also where we're falling apart, because they're not having the proper conversation. Like you said, we're not having the proper conversation.
Maybe we should try to start something where like we release little gems and find a way to send it to the youths them, innit?
Yeah.
Open a platform for them to ask like as many questions as they want.
Listen,
so we can try and help.
Someone like Daniel will be great for that. Like
100%.
You know what I mean? You've been through the system, you know what I mean, good and bad. You know the drugs, you know what I mean? You can recognize it. If you see it, you know exactly what it is. So someone like you that's had a hands-on insight into it. We're not talking about some guy that's a professor that's coming down to spit some nonsense to you. We're talking about someone that's been out there, understands drugs, and could really talk to some kids and say, bro, look at my situation. I don't think we've got enough of those people. I don't think we've got enough Daniels out there. Because I think they're too scared of allowing someone like you to come into a school and talk to the kids.
That's what we need. That's exactly.
Yeah, let's talk when this is all done, innit, and see what we can do.
More people.
Try hit up some schools and that.
Sorry, go on, Daniel. What were you saying?
Yeah. I can't even remember what I was saying. What was I saying now? Yes, I'm saying these drugs of these years. Sometimes my memory is a bit bad, but they need to teach them in the school life things from young. When they're 10, 11, 12, they need to start teaching them raw. You know what? Reality is this. There's going to be people who's going to want to try and send country and this and that and of life. You know what I mean? And tell them raw. You're going to go out there and you're going to stab someone and kill him over some stupidness, and you're going to be in jail. They need to do more of, you know, that thing in America where they done banged up, scared straight or something. They get the young people, they take them to the and they put them in the prison for a day. They need to do more things like that in England. Yeah, if they got 14, 15-year-olds and they put them in a brick, I'm telling you, when they come out, that kid is not going to go around stabbing no one, because he's seen that he don't want to go and sit in there for 15, 20 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like me personally, because I've been to prison, I don't think I would ever kill someone like that, because I know that I don't want to be sitting in prison cell or whatever. You know what I mean?
But I don't think it's only that. I think you've actually seen real real bad man, as they say.
You know what I mean?
You
It's
look them devils in in their eyes.
more
Oh, he's dipping again.
That's annoying.
I shouldn't call them devils though.
people who's never been jail someone because they don't know what jail is.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. And I think a lot of the stuff that sometimes these man might see on Snapchat and these thing there with people in jail with phones all having fun and having jokes,
hear me?
well, obviously you don't help in it because they just see it as all as a laugh. No, but legit, I can hear you a little bit. Legit, I definitely think we should talk off air and actually try to do something, innit?
Yeah,
Because I've always wanted to
definitely.
try and give something back to that age. Like you hit, I'm telling you, the ages I want to target is 10, 11, 12, 13. Those are the most impressionable ages.
Especially around London, man. Jesus Christ.
Especially around London. And I think maybe just hitting up some schools, maybe we could even like just do some pre-recorded videos or something, just speaking about stuff. But I think maybe lives is better. And
That's
just like have an
exactly
open
what I was just
forum.
thinking. I will swear down. I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah, bro, let's talk. Let's talk off air and then we'll see what we can do in it.
It's a good idea still.
Because it's important. It's
Amazing.
important because they're the next
Yeah, we
generation.
definitely would.
Listen, though, lads. I've got work very early in the morning.
Man.
10 o'clock.
Give something
So
Jeez.
I'm
At least it ain't midnight.
I know. I'm gonna say I'm gonna dip. Daniel, man, thank you very much for coming on and sharing with us, man. I've
Mad insight.
I've enjoyed it. It's been a really, really good insight, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
His bars are gone. As you said that.
Crazy.
But guys, this will be like, well, what plans to do? I'm sorry, just before we go, I'm planning to put all of these on Mixcloud and Spotify, so you guys can listen back to these audios and just pick apart some of the information and some of the things that you learn from these conversations. As I said, like with the levels, it's just that is called the levels because we want you guys to learn things away just as well. And
Thanks
like,
for having me. Other than the
he's gonna keep jumping in and out. But anyway, as I was saying, I'll upload these onto those. We'll get a proper podcast, audio podcast going as well. Thanks everybody for their continued support again. Like there's been so much love from you guys, and please keep supporting the thing, help us grow. As you can see, please like, subscribe, and share the channel. Let's help get the following up. Follow us on IG as well. Though it's more fashion and music, you still get some good stuff on there from what we're posting on our stories. But big love. Unfortunately, Daniel's connection hasn't been the best, but when he has talked and given us them gems, it's been wonderful. So thank you guys. I've been Kofi Cases, got Dan Mason, and Daniel would say peace and love, but as you can see, he's frozen now. So love everybody. Thank you so much. And we will catch you next week, where Dan doesn't know this, but we have, if I'm correct, we have an American singer called Essence Nate coming on. That's going to be another interesting one because I'm always interested in the UK-US battle and why they don't respect us, basically. So we'll see what Essence
trust
says.
me, they respect us now, man. Trust me.
But we'll see what Essence says, isn't it?
Shout out to all the UK artists doing bits.
Yeah,
You know
we got things to come as well, just to showcase the UK artists a bit more.
Straight up.
So yeah, Daniel, you're back with us. You want to say bye real quick?
No. Yeah. Daniel.
Dip. Yeah, he's not there. All right, cool.
everyone, sorry about the link, the connection is a bit bad. And
We managed to get through 2 hours of it though, man. So you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Don't
man.
worry about it. No stress. All right, guys, I'm gonna dip.
All right.
Peace out.
Peace, everybody.
All right.
Learn life. There's levels to the shit.
right. Love, bro. Yeah.